Sam, let's talk about some live dogs. NFL live dogs. When you first started going over the list early this week, and we do this segment every week, how many teams did you land on? Because we're coming off another week. The public did very well. And if we're talking real dogs, like sizable underdogs, there was only one that got home. It was that Seattle-San Francisco game. So the public that put together a lot of these favorites in moneyline parlays did very well. Don't know if that's going to be the case once again, but how many teams are you considering for this week as live dogs?
I got 3, and I hate 2 of them, but that's usually what happens when we talk live dogs. And we're not talking plus 1.5, plus 2. Yes. We're looking for bigger numbers. So the first one that I circled was right at the top of the rotation, 252 Indianapolis, plus 7.5. They're at home against Detroit. Detroit keeps winning. Detroit keeps covering. I haven't bet against Detroit in a while. I don't feel this Detroit disdain. I didn't bet Tennessee. I didn't bet Jacksonville. Like, I haven't bet these garbage teams that they've railroaded. Mm-hmm. I do feel like this is sort of a good time to bet against Detroit. Every odds maker I talk to keeps saying the same thing. We keep making the number higher. We keep dragging the power rating up. We keep making the spreads bigger. And they keep covering. And I get doing it for 9-10 games. Can you really do it for 17? I don't know, man. I guess I'm willing to find out, at least this week in week number 12. Indy's been really good against the spread, too. They've covered a lot. They're one of the best cover teams in the NFL.
Yep.
I think that Richardson can do some things on the ground to keep that defense honest. They've beaten a lot of slow, stationary quarterbacks. That's true. Now they got to face a team that could run and that has a quarterback that can run. And Indy's got a pretty good offensive line, too. So I like the Colts plus 7.5. You hate that?
No, well, we're talking about winning. So that's the part that's hard. That's hard.
I think they can win. Why can't they win?
Yeah. They can win. I'm just saying, if of the dogs, you're going to have a couple that you hate of mine. Just despise. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it can't happen. Of course it can't happen. But when you just watch what they did, and let's make it clear, they were expected to do that. And they exceeded that. Coming off that 5-interception game that they somehow find a way to win against the Texans, the Jaguars with the worst defense, the worst passing defense by far in the NFL, when they're coming into your house, like, you knew it was probably going to be bad. And it was even way worse than all of that. So, yeah, of course, any team can win any game in the NFL. I'll say this for you. When you look at Detroit after they just railroad a team, and this is quite normal, what happens? Well, this week they murdered Dallas 47-9. Then the following week, a 2-point win at Minnesota. Both those games on the road. If we go back to last year, because I can't say the results this year, there's anything even comparable. So if we go back to last year, game that they won by a lot, let's go 42-17 against Denver. Following week, another 1-score win against Minnesota. I like Indy. You know I like Indy. Anthony Richardson looked better than expected in his first game back from the benching. So can they hang in this game at their house? Absolutely. They can
3-1 money line. 3-1.
Whew. Yeah, because nobody wants to take that. Nobody wants to go against the Lions at all. And I understand why they don't want to. Yeah, the Colts team, it's a team that I've bet a good amount. The concern is Gus Bradley's defense going against the Lions offense on that turf where they can just run away from anybody. But, you know, if you have a great team coming off a game where they won by how many touchdowns, this would be the time to fade. So that line of thinking, I understand.
Can I guess one of yours?
Do you want to go to the ugly ones or like the real ones? You're going to guess one of the ugly ones.
I know this team is on your list. I have a good feeling they're going to make the cut.
I've got 2 gross ones One of them's going to win. I don't know which one yet, but go ahead.
Tennessee, you're on the Titans.
You're damn right I'm on the Titans. Plus 8.5.
I knew it.
Titans are on the list. Levis does not look horrible. They're actually scoring. People overlook the Ridley touchdown that was called back. They should have covered last week against EPA per play, the best defense in the NFL against Minnesota. I am unimpressed with Houston every time I watch them. Every single time. And now they're laying 8.5 in a divisional matchup. I'm not buying into that too much. And it's a short week for Houston. Nobody's going to bet on the Titans. They're going to look at their ATS record and say they can't cover. And they assume that that's how it's going to be all year. And I know we're talking about live dogs, but hey, if I'm going to go with a long shot, let's pick a divisional matchup. And that is one of my gross ones. Do you want to pick the other gross one? Do you have a guess?
I don't feel as good about this guess.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, I don't. I like to just keep my 1-for-1 guess.
Okay. Go out on a high note. I can respect that.
Let me retire right now from guessing your live dogs today. I'm going to retire. I'm going to hang them up. Nah, forget that. Let me guess it. No, I get it. Okay. I'll get it. Give me one guess. Is it see, I don't want clues either. Okay. New England.
No, not New England.
I should have retired.
The angle was right because that New England game, divisional matchup. Let's go to another divisional matchup. We them boys. Cowboys.
I didn't think you were getting that ugly.
The Cowboys at the Commanders. Nobody wants anything to do with them, and I understand why. But I'm just looking at the other side. How have the Commanders been looking? How have they been trending of late? Everybody tells me Jaden Daniels is still hurt, but he's been playing for the last month. So is he hurt or he's getting stuff on film, seeing better defenses? Now, the Cowboys are not one of those. They're not one of those better defenses, but it's another divisional matchup where everybody is selling high on one team. The line is, you can't sit here and tell me the line isn't inflated. And I understand watching Monday thinking, I just want to bet against this team the rest of the year. I get it. But Cooper Rush was actually moving the football in this game. Now they have no rushing attack. That's the part that scares you a bit here. But Rush was able to find Lamb on a number of spots. He ended up with like 93 yards, something like that. And they made it a game 4.5. I think the Texans are better than the Commanders by a decent margin, even though I don't love the Texans. But with the way Washington is playing right now, yeah, I think the Cowboys or the Titans are going to win outright this weekend. And I'm trying to figure out which one.
4.25 on Dallas.
Yeah, nobody wants it.
I don't hate it. But outright? I get the 10.5.
A shoe put out a video, the biggest Commanders fan in the world, and he had a bucket and he pretended like he was vomiting because the Cowboys were on the screen. It's time to go the other way. Sorry, Nick.
Oh, so he likes Washington.
Oh, come on. You think the Commanders fan with, new era, Jaden Daniels, and then it's the Cowboys looking terrible last couple of weeks with their backup quarterback? There's no way he's going against his team.
Okay.
10.5 is a big number.
I heard Costos likes the Eagles and the Rams on Sunday night. Can you confirm or deny that? Do you know at this point? I heard he likes both
I do
teams
not know.
in the game.
But in the same video, a shoe was on the Eagles too. Everybody's on it.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Eagles. I don't give a damn.
But they're the favorite.
I don't care. What's done is done. It's 2.5. You can lay 2.5 now. Yeah, it's done.
I know. Yeah, I'm with you. Should we tell the people to bet that now? Is the 2.5 going to be gone once we get to this weekend?
I see our friend Chris Andrews has 2.5 at South Point. I see a couple of 2.5s juiced in the American market, and there's a lot of 2.5 like minus 118, minus 119 offshore. I don't know, man. I'll probably bet some more money line open parlays closer to the weekend.
Okay.
That's going to be a spot that the books just need the Eagles to lose. But I'm sorry. I don't care what the books need on Sunday night. It's personal. It's personal against the Rams. It is.
And
it is.
look, it's been personal for a month, and it's against the team that we've loved since the summer. And a lot of people that are on the Rams also hated the Eagles. So, we have to be here. We have to be on Philadelphia.
I didn't bet against the Rams last week. We were saying parlay Jake Paul and Rams money lines together.
Yeah.
I don't do it every week. I mean, that's, it's not 2016 anymore. I'm not betting against Dak and Zeke as rookies every single game. When we first started working together, I'm like, oh, this can't keep up. And then they finished 13-3. I don't just blind fade teams. But the Rams, if you look at their schedule, they have fallen flat against most of the good teams. So, no, I don't think the Rams are a live dog. I want the Rams in the ground. That's what I want. That's what I want. All right. So the other live dog, but see, it's a different conversation when we talk about winning the game outright. I don't like the Giants to win. I like the Giants to keep it close. I can't possibly tell you. Well, I shouldn't say I can't. I won't tell you to take Giants money line. They're getting 5.5 at home against a horrendous Bucs pass defense. But Mike Evans comes back. I imagine things will be a lot easier for Baker Mayfield. Here's one I want to throw at you. So I said basically Indy, and I like New England +7. I think they can win the game. But is Chicago a live dog at home? 3.5?
First one I wrote down.
Yeah.
They are. I think they are. And that number's trending to 3 if you're paying attention to the juice. So we go from the look ahead of 4.5. I saw some spots reopen at 4, immediately to 3.5, and now we're trending to 3. And I was thinking about why is this the case? And this morning I was talking with Mully and Haw about it on the score. And here's what I came up with about why the Bears money came in. We talked for 3 weeks. Everybody was talking. Bettors everywhere talking for 3 weeks on the NFL. Are the Bears quitting? Are the Bears quitting? They proved on Sunday they're not quitting. There's a little bit of fight. How much was firing the OC? I don't know. But they showed there's some fight, and Caleb Williams looked better. He was getting rid of the ball quickly. So that's a thing. And this is just one of those spots. You know this, Sam, where before the season, it's circled, and people are going to fade a team in a specific spot every time. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just telling you what they're doing. They're fading Minnesota third straight road game, right? They've been soft opponents throughout this, but Jacksonville covered against them. It was a bit of a bounce back. It was a comfortable win last week at Tennessee, but I wouldn't say it was domination by Minnesota in any way. I mean, Levis almost had 300 yards against this defense. So, yeah, they're buying on the Bears a little bit in this spot. Third straight road game. The Bears actually have this spot later in the year at Minnesota, their third straight road game. But you know this, don't you agree that they're just going to bet against the team on the road for the third straight week?
That, and you also have the Bears defense against Darnold. To me, that's enticing. Yep. I like that matchup. You take a dome team, bring them outside. It's not going to be 70 degrees in Chicago like it was in September and early October. I don't know that we get elements, but I don't care. I mean, the total 41-39, that's a Chicago move. Short the offense, bet on the defense. Yeah, it makes sense.
Niners or no? 2.5 at Green Bay. 2.5-point dog. I know. That's the reaction.
I'd love 3. I'd love 3. But live dog? Yeah, of course they're a live dog.
I don't love the way that Jordan Love is playing right now either. And laying 2.5. But if it gets to 3, yeah, I think that ends up being the buy point for sure.